Dr. Farber, when you're looking at applications, is there anything that makes you go, wow, like this person really stands out?
Yeah, that's a great question. Um, I'm tempted to be snarky, but I'll try not to be. Um, it's often my default position as
That's
a,
okay. You can be
as a
snarky.
full
Yeah, don't
member.
deprive the audience.
We want your snark.
I'll be serious first, then I'll throw the snark in perhaps later. I look for people who write extremely well. You know, that's my bias. I like people who write well. I look for people who can balance. I don't want the statement to be a prose form of a CV. I think what people need to do is find the right balance between helping me understand who they are, but without being TMI. You want to mention you're in therapy and that it's facilitated your wish to become a therapist, sure. But I don't really want to know every piece of your early history. So I think in general, so what am I looking for? I want people who seemingly are, who know what they're talking about, who aren't focused on generalities or cliches. To say I want to be a therapist because it feels meaningful to me is a cliche at this point. It's a
What is a good
given that
reason?
what's that?
What is a good reason? Can you name something that somebody said recently that you were like, that's unique and that makes sense to me?
Perhaps either your own experience of being helped or a family member who was terribly distressed being helped, or maybe even something, it doesn't even have to be totally personal like that. I've been, reading books about therapy. I've been reading Yalom. I've been reading case histories. And there's something about the way someone writes about this that made me read even more. So I want some in-depth understanding of both clinical stuff and, in your statement too, you're going to be focused on some piece of research. It's got to be in depth. It can't be, I'm interested in psychotherapy research. That's so broad. What about psychotherapy research are you
Hmm.
interested in? What else? I want to know something about you, actually, even other than your interest in psychology. Who are you when you're not thinking about a psychology career? I don't mind. In fact, I kind of like telling me what books you've read, or what your hobbies are, or that when you listen to this music, it gives you a sense of being close to people, and that's even a part of why you're interested in doing the work.
Mm.
Um, what else should I
This
add?
is helpful. This is helpful.
Daisy's answered this question too. I know when people in our lab apply, what have you given as an answer?
And I think you really hit the nail on the head with the balance between giving a sense of who you are, while of course, through the narrative of how psychology plays into that, how your desire to become a psychologist plays into that, while also not doing the TMI. And so I think because our field does study mental illness and also values and prizes compassion and empathy, that some people kind of make the mistake of thinking that this is then, and a lot of people have had a lot of hard things happen to them, and that this is the good place to like share a lot of those details, but you also want to really balance the personal and the professional, maybe more than in any other
Mm.
field here. So I think,
Mm.
and I think the best advice I have for anyone with personal statements is do not leave it to the last minute, and do not submit it without showing it to at least two people that you trust that could give you accurate feedback, with you having enough time to integrate that feedback. It's not a
Hmm.
small piece. It doesn't not matter. It does
Yeah.
matter. Personal
Yeah.
statement matters. Yeah.
Yeah.